Sun and Moon are some fun games. I like the characters, the world, the setting, and the Pokemon. I'm looking forward to Sword and Shield since it has more clothes option and has pants! Sweet, glorious pants. And look, snow that isn't on a mountaintop! Hooray! My favorite thing about Sun and Moon is that it has Pokemon that look like they belong in that region. Something Pokemon has struggled with for the first 4 generations is that they had a template for the way the region looked and felt. But that's really it. It wasn't until Gen 5 and Unova that we got more concrete in the way Pokemon are designed. Gen 5 was sort of a reboot for the series, and thus we have a reboot in how Pokemon are chosen and designed. Although I don't think we have prairie dogs in the US. I thought that was more of an Aussie thing. I mean, Google tells me I'm wrong, the smug bastard, but hey, it's a me thing, and that's what you're all here for, isn't it? Anyway, Kanto to Hoenn felt kinda samey to me, which I get, they were all made to represent parts of Japan, which is why they all can come off as rather monotone. But Gen 4 is just the weird child that doesn't really fit in either camp, since it was limited by what the original Fat DS could handle and coming just before the upgraded version 3 years later. Not to shit on Gen 4 or anything, it's my second favorite region right behind Alola. What I love about Alola is that while some of the Pokemon are really bad, like this headpiece that has a weird thing carrying it for no reason, or this Trump Ferret, the vast majority of them are really great. Like this mermaid seal, or this dog that hugs you with its rock necklace as a sign of affection. Even its item Pokemon are really creative, like this haunted sandcastle, or this haunted anchor, or this sentient meteor that has the best shiny ever made. So while the region didn't roll a perfect 10, it at least got a 9.5 from me. But what really made me gravitate towards this generation more so than say X and Y or even Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were, what else? The starters. Like, no joke, no lie, I love 2/3 of the forms of the starters in this game, and for some reason, that's better than every other region where I like either all the forms or none of them. Looking at you, you fucking gecko. Gen 1 has the same problem as 7, but unlike 7, that's chaotically swinging from one to the other, 1 is consistent in the emotions the Baby's First Monster Buster Club trio ever got out of me. Like, look at Gens 1, 2, and 3. If you really look at Gen 1 and strip away the nostalgia, what do you have? A frog with a tree on its back, a turtle with the whole of Florida in monsoon season on its back, and a fucking dragon. And just to be clear, the dragon is the lazy option. It took no effort to make or even think of because, say it with me now, it's a fucking dragon, people. Then we get the best plant dog ever, a crocodile and a hedgehog. Yes, they're cute, but they're just kinda bland. And 3, well, we don't talk about them because they're weird and I don't like looking at them. So in order, we have Meh, Cute, and Rage. Gen 7 is at least interesting in terms of its starters because they all seem more human is the way to put it, I guess. Take a look at Decidueye. It looks like a different stage in some poor boy's life. He's a small nerd boy who gets picked on, and then when he hits his teens, he gets into that Hot Topic crew. After a few levels of that, he hits college and then joins the archery team. So he gets a scholarship and is just chilling in his hoodie, while also being into that ethereal stuff because his first boyfriend liked it, and it kinda stuck with him after the breakup. Litton's a cat, then a bobcat, and then someone's weird fursona. And I hate it. Not that I hate furries or anything. I don't really care what you do with your personal time with a consenting adult. But I hate this last age more than I hate Charizard. Why? Because it's just lazy. For more info on that, look at my starter ranking list. Anyway, Poplio actually has 2 different life paths in my mind depending on which gender it is, because it's so hard-coded feminine that I can't help but think of it this way. So if it's male, I think it's either a cute lovable gay boy who either becomes a trans woman or is really into makeup and drag, and if it's female, well, it's just a little girl with an awkward teen phase and then she becomes a pop star. And who I think these Pokemon are differ from what you think, and that's the whole point. You might look at these and see Pokemon, but I see the effort put in to make them feel more like humans and to make us care about them, which some may see as a fault and think that Primarina is just weird. And one guy even said that Incineroar was the most perfect evolutionary line ever made, and I can't get behind that. 2/3 of it work, but the last bit just ruins it for me. Rowlet and Poplio have awkward teen years, but then they get better with age, whereas Litten peaked in high school and then became the Undertaker, and that sucks. But man, if these upset you or got you to skip Gen 7, then you're weird. And this is coming from a guy who thinks that arguably the most hyped trio starters other than Kanto is forgettable simply because I've never liked or used them. I know most of you first played Gen 3 and that's why you like it so much. I've met a lot of people who have started with Gens 1, 2, or 3, and even 5 and 6, but 4 and 7? not a whole lot of people like all three of them. And that's sad because they have so much character and are wacky and have fun designs. Everyone likes the fire monkey or the cat, a lot like the owl, but my favorites of these two are the giant turtle with an ecosystem on its back and the mermaid seal because they're fun and have a unique aspect to them. Also, can I pivot for a second on what I think is the most overlooked aspect of Gen 7 starters? Their Z moves. See, whereas Gens 1 and 3 got a lot of megas, Gen 7 Pokemon, and some older ones, got specific Z moves that were basically better than any other generic one the game could give you, that allowed you to sway the battle in your favor if used properly. If not, then you'll just be stuck with normal attacks for the rest of the fight. Rowlet and Litten's Z moves are kinda nice. I still think Litten's isn't that great, but Rowlet's is appropriately cool. And then we have Poplio's. And yet again, this little cutie just left me speechless. Its Z move is A, more thematically coherent for the whole line, and B, is just one of the coolest things ever shown on the 3DS. Oceanic Operetta is the coolest name I've ever heard for a move, and for some reason, no one talks about it. It's an elegant name with a great animation to it, and it's just so simple. Don't believe me? Look at Decidueyes. And now Incineroars. And now, Primarina. So with Sword and Shield coming out soon, I hope our new trio goes the way of Alola rather than Hoenn. My name is Chris, and I all hope you choose what you love.